I've learned to pause at this point because the YouTube stream is slowly trying to figure itself out. Hey, this is Dad Random, and thought I'd do a little update. It's been a really long time since I've been on. I've been really busy. Uh, you know, I should just call myself Coach Random at this point because that's what's going on. We had a couple of football games. We had a lot of practice, a lot of late evenings. I've been running out to the field to do some fun videos. But this is kind of the time where I kind of transition. Hey, all right, hey, and this is why another reason why I wanted to be on because Drone Worship. I wanted to wish him well, uh, and I hope he is having a good away from YouTube experience because of his recent kind of misfortune. So I really appreciate him, and like I said, I wish him well because it's tough. The medical issues uh, are very difficult. The high deductibles, all the thing. I went through a similar thing, but yep, not just away from YouTube, away from my job. Oh man, yes, it is, and that's the other part is the disability part. Um, it's part of America right now that's kind of in turmoil, and but I appreciate Dan being on. I've got Drone Life on. Um, yes, and he says he's surviving. He's got a lot of pains. Hey, Dan, I spent just talk about gastric pain. I spent one of my holidays with my stepfather, and he had a what the heck is that thing? He had anyway. It was bad, and he looked like he was a pregnant woman, and but it was not bleeding. He had an enlarged colon. His colon basically stopped working, and it just filled with gas. And if it doesn't move, it just blows up. So he literally turned to a pregnant. He looked like a pregnant man. So I sat with him for about 6 hours in a hospital in an emergency room, but not as long. Dan basically said, Drone Worship Dan, he said he was in the hospital today, or not today, but those days that he was there for quite a few hours. We're talking 6 hours here, a couple hours there, and they just sit you there. It's triage. They just go, if you're not dying, they just let you sit there, and then they take the people that are ODing on drugs that are freaking stopping breathing, and can you imagine Florida? So we are, I'm very fortunate where I'm at. So, Dan, like I said, I feel for you because as a young guy, and you're, yep, and I, you don't have to thank me because I thank you a ton. I hope I can kind of carry the torch for you for a little while so you can recover and do some things. And I'm trying to, to kind of fill in a little bit too, because, I mean, all of us kind of have the same dream, the same love and things like that. And I really appreciate him. I've come a long ways with my channel. I should be reaching 300 here real soon. I mean, 300 is a small number, but, not too long ago I was at 30. So, and we got, let's see, and Drone Life sends prayers your way, Drone Worship. I appreciate Drone Life for being on. Guys, there's nothing fancy here, but I am going to take my live show somewhere else because there's a lot of things that I can do here that that would especially as we're coming into winter. So I just wanted to address a couple of things because it's been a while. One of the things that I think everybody has to deal with, and Dan basically alluded to it, is internet trolling. And I've had at least 2 people troll my videos and claim all these things and threaten me with legal action and things like that. And that I take that seriously because and I think everybody does because we do this for fun. So there's nothing I do. There's not a single thing that I do, and that's one of the things I wanted to address. That is ever done in a way where I would risk anything. I would risk my family. I would risk my future. I would risk anybody's life for dang sure. I love the place that I fly, and I'm actually going to put out a series of safety videos just to address that issue. I haven't been flying far, but we're going to talk a little bit about the idea of line of sight and that issue, because that's the big one I'm getting. It's I think everybody's had the same troll come and deal with that. And at no time do I ever lose sight of the area that I'm flying in. I am in an area usually that has a very interesting geographic um, signature to it. I like to have places that are long, narrow corridors. There are zero aircraft that can fly in these areas. About the only exception to that rule would be an experimental, and we've had a few kites fly through these areas. People with experimental flying wings and things like that. Maybe, and of course, we have a hospital, and we also have a new hospital, a medical school that went in Ivans, that's right next to the Red Mountain where I was flying. But the medical school is, like I said, is well outside the perimeter of that 1,000 foot rock that I'm flying in. So I mean, I am flying literally a couple of about 100 or 200 meters from a 1,000 foot cliff. And if you think there's any kind of aircraft that are flying anywhere near that, you got to be kidding me. They're over 1,000 feet above it. So, like I said, I know my area really well. I know the geography of the area. I love this area, and one of the things I want to do. Yes, and I thank you, Drone Life, for. When I lived back east, I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in farm country, and if you watch some of the videos, I went home this summer and took some videos of farm country. I really, really love it. But I've come to appreciate the red rocks. I've come to appreciate the freedom that the West has. Nobody understands the. I live in the only place, some of the only places left in America where there's absolutely nobody that tells you what to do. It is amazing, and nobody understands that. If you live in New Jersey, all you know is regulation, and you can't do this, you can't do that. Guys, I'm going to put a video out tomorrow. I've already thought about kind of the way I want to do it, but quite honestly, I live on especially on Sunday. Sunday is actually has a kind of a cool dynamic to it out here, but getting back to Utah itself, we have so much public land. We have thousands and thousands of square miles. Yes, Georgia. Thank you. Drone Life is from Georgia. I got Chris Hope on. Hello. I appreciate you being on. And of course, hopefully, Drone Worship is still on, because, like I said, he's my sponsor. I'm going to make him my sponsor now. He's my kind of my idol, the kind of the guy I kind of look up to. He tries to keep me out of trouble, and he did warn me about a lot of this stuff that I'm facing right now, because he's had all the same trouble. But I'm getting back to freedom, and of course, that's why when I went back to Minnesota, I got this hat, I got my camo, I got my American flag. You like that? I got tats on both arms. You like that? All right. I thought every time I can, I want to freaking give some crap to Ken Heron. So here we go. I'll do my Ken Heron look. Yeah, there we go. But anyways, that's one of my fun things I like to do. But freedom, and you guys that have to deal with the threat of just about everything. I mean, I don't have to fly over buildings. I don't have to fly over people. I never ever have to do that. And I have the choice to do that every morning I wake up. I am literally less than a quarter of a mile from 100 miles of nothing. You literally could just get a drone that could fly 100 miles. I could put it right right in the in the troughs and in the valleys of these mountains that I live around, and just fly right down it, because the planes are gonna continue to fly well above the highest of those peaks, and there are some pretty high ones. The one that I told you, the Red Mountain, is over 1,000 feet. There's one that's to the west of me that was hit by a B-52 bomber. It ran into it, and that one's even higher than the one I'm talking about. There's actually a cool scar up there, and I am thinking about flying to the top of that one, and that is on public land. The probably the most scary thing. Hey, we got Philly on there. How you doing? Okay. Yep. And let's see, Philly drones, man. Okay, love that you're on. But guys, you guys get me off task. It's like this. Guys, I'm a teacher for a living. And anytime anybody gets on, I have to read something, I have to forget my story. My kids do that every single day. I'm back to school now. And by the way, I love being back to school. And I tell them that. They share my adventures with me, and they enjoy it. Guys, you just went down for a second. I'm going to keep talking while you guys are down. But I'm a social studies teacher. So can you tell? I love to talk, and I like to perform, basically, because that's what I do on a daily basis. But my theme, guys, is freedom. It's flying freedom. And yes, I did sign the petition that Dan circulated when he was slightly off balance there, when he was enjoying the meds that he was on, rightfully so. Freedom to fly, freedom to make good decisions. Like I said, and of course, freedom to still have the breadth of the countryside to fly over. And some of you guys live, like I said, you have a city block that you can fly in. Some of you guys have a little park that's close by or something like that. And I have the luxury of 100 miles of nothing. And in between that 100 miles of nothing is the most beautiful country on the planet. Zion National Park. Obviously, I can't fly in there, but you know that state parks in Utah are not freaking governed by any laws. I can fly into Snow Canyon State Park, one of the most beautiful parks, right up the gut of it with a drone, and nobody's going to care. And how many parks are like that left in America? All this. I'm still waiting for my feed to come on, guys. It's still a dead feed. But on the other hand, I understand that people are restricted like that. So kind of like Dustin Dunhill, who lives on an island and can fly, across the open ocean. I'm like that, but I'm land-based, and I watch Dustin, and he kind of is my inspiration, as far as the way I like to do my my recorded work. I really like his calm demeanor. I like his storytelling. I like the way he calms you as he's showing you what that he's up to and what he's doing. And I had a comment the other day. Hopefully, we'll see Dennis come up on here. I think it's Dennis Level. He might be busy. It's Saturday night, guys. Most of you guys on Saturday night, I'd say inner peace of mind. Yeah. Yes. And some of you guys, if you have farm country that you're close to, and yes, Philly Drone, I think I told you that I'm a history teacher. I teach sociology too. So I get to teach about the world. I get to teach about society and economics and how we all kind of work into that. Yeah. And every one of you guys, there's a lover of Dustin's work. Guys, everybody has something to give in this hobby. And I'm hoping to bring a little bit of some of those things together. I enjoy, of course, a little bit of the humorous side. I was thinking about how I could inject humor into a safety video. Everybody does safety videos, but even I have to apply safety to the 3 or 4 or 5 miles of land that I'm going to fly over. And nobody understands that. It's hard to contemplate land that does not have rules. And you guys that are out there that live in places that are totally like off limits to anything. You can't fly over the creek. You can't have a dog in the park, guys. I'm starting to just finally face some of that. I was walking. There's a park real close to me, and I'll fly in there every once in a while. It's a softball field. Somebody put up a sign that said no sunflower seeds, and then the sign was added no dogs, and then dogs on leashes, and so I'm starting to feel that. So I just go another direction and let my dog run around in the desert. There literally is desert here, guys, that you don't have to freaking worry about. All the public land of Utah is preserved for people that live in Utah. There are people driving ATVs all over the place. There are people basically out there, sport shooters that go out and freaking blast 1,000 rounds every weekend. And nobody tells them what guns they need to have. I mean, it is awesome. And there are still places like that in America. I just wanted to let people know that. Probably it's a joke now, but guys, my biggest fear on Sunday when I fly tomorrow is being shot by somebody out there target shooting in the desert. And I got guys freaking that are worried about my line of sight. My line of sight, guys, is about a bullet's flight away from getting hit in the freaking forehead with an AR-15. Okay, let's see. We got to read some of you guys. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of private property, but yes, there are places. Private property is different than public land. I mean, private property, all you got to do is go to the owner and go, hey, I'd like to hunt, and then they tell you, okay, these are the months that I think it's okay. So that is cool too. If you looked at like I said, if you looked at any of my Minnesota work stuff when I was back there, that's the same way. If you want to get a hunt there, of course you're restricted with the weapon because you can't use rifles back there. You can use shotguns with slugs and that kind of thing. Let's see. I hate it. I wanted to go paint somewhere to do landscapes back in VA and So like I said, with private property, you have to ask permission, and that's what kind of Ken Heron is constantly doing. He's showing people that there are things you can do. All you got to do is ask. Private property owners, especially out west here, are really, really good with people that ask. The thing that screws things up for you is if you just go out there and do it and you don't say anything and you act stupid about it, or you act ignorant to the fact that you didn't know or something like that. But it's just great, guys. I can walk right over the fence line, just carry my drone, up to the top of that ridge that I show you guys every time. I could fly right off the ridge, and I've done that before. So like I said, my biggest worry is losing my drone out there, So the Southwest is cool. Let's see. It says Michael D. My loss is 20 feet from looking at. Yeah, and like I said, the other thing is, a lot of us, and like me, when I was a kid, I was locked up. I couldn't do a lot of things because of money. I couldn't do a lot of things because of my life situation, and I vowed to, as a kid, when I grew up, that I would find a place where I could do things. One of the things I wanted to do as a young kid, was scuba dive. I used to dream about it, and I used to read magazines, and I put a little fund together, and I was trying to save money to buy fins and a mask and all that kind of stuff. And I realized that dream. I came out west. I went when I got my scholarship for school and for football. And then during the winter, I trained as a diver. I'm actually a trained dive master. If I stayed current. I actually got an email the other day and they asked me if I wanted to up my dive master level. I have 10 years as a PADI dive master. Yeah, and what's silly is I live in the Southwest. I live in the middle of the desert. And at Lloyd Bridges, sea hunt. Hey, Jacques Cousteau, man, that's where I got my excitement from. I watched those Jacques Cousteau documentaries. I love that stuff. I love it, guys. I've had a chance to to dive 100 feet down on wrecks, and had chances to see the kelp in the California on the California coast from the bottom of the ocean, looking up through it to looking through the sun. There's nothing more beautiful than that, than watching fish swimming through the kelp as you're sitting laying on the bottom of the of the Pacific Ocean. So yeah, it's cool stuff. But guys, I'm getting older, man. I'm starting to, I had a knee surgery, this year, and I did dive with my daughter 2 years ago. She's certified, and we do have water close by. So if anybody wants to send me a Gladius, I'll get you some video. All right, so that'll see what a Gladius at this point, but I'm telling you, I could do a great Gladius video. I've got just right here. We have a lot of reservoirs that we create our own water here in the West, and there's a reservoir not too far away. That's a big recreational place. It's ATVs everywhere. Saturday and Sunday, people are camping out there. It's just crazy. I need to get my drone out there and travel behind some of those ATVs flying around in the sand dunes. That would be kind of a cool video too. I'm just not quite there yet. I like the nature stuff. And then I think this winter, when that craziness is going on, I'll get my drone out there. But like I said, focus, focus here. Focus is freedom to do things, freedom to fly, and of course, keeping that. And let's see, I'm going to read here. I got my feed up here. Tyson. Hey, Tyson, how you doing, man? I love Tyson. Tyson's a good guy. He's a friend of my son's. Appreciate him being on, man. Good guy, man. Hard worker. Freaking kid he battled as a football player, and like I said, he really enjoys life, and I really appreciate him. I hope he hears me say that. And then, of course, when my son gets home, I hope he comes over and visits us. See, living in the city really makes our world very small. Yes, because I love nature and scenery. Is this Philly Drone Life? One of my new followers. I definitely spend a little bit of time going, and guys, I wanna know what you're doing. Okay, obviously some of us are learning, some of us are just watching, and maybe it's Philly. Is he the one that's doing the? Ask him, Philly. Are you the one doing the New York scenes in Brooklyn? If that's you, let me know. So, because he did some beautiful nighttime, like evening shots of the New York skyline. It is freaking gorgeous. I couldn't do it with my drone. I think he's using a Spark or something. And or I don't know. Can you imagine having a Mavic in New York City? First of all, it's, you have to be well outside of it. There's all the restrictions there. And with 9/11 and all that stuff. But does Philly? No, it's Philly. That's right. Philadelphia. Sorry, I didn't get it. Yeah, I do recall you though, and you're Phantom 4. Yep. So Philly, I do. He has asked me a lot of questions. I'm trying to think of, and I apologize, Philly, for mixing that up. You guys that live in cities, you guys have an advantage of stuff that I can't do, and you just got to pick your time. And Mavic. Wow, we got a Mavic in. He must work for the city. Must work for the city of Philadelphia. You got to have a city job, to be able to afford those expensive drones. Guys, I got a Bebop. I'm really an amateur here, but I'm maxing it out. I'm going to use it for all it's worth, and I am definitely going Mavic. I think that's kind of the direction I'm going to go. And the reason why is because once you get the hype going with the new drones, there's a ton of them out for sale now. He said Mavic 2. No, I'm just hooked. Yeah. No. So Philly, do you have a Mavic 2? You do have a Mavic 2? It says and Mavic 2. Well, you can't have a Mavic 2 yet, right? Aren't they just being sent out? Or if you're special, you get them early. That's all I know. Cabinet mate, yeah. Okay. Wow. 2 of them, just ordered them. Man, he must not be married, man. That's all I gotta say. Yep. I've got my Saturday Ogre Cup out. Mavic Air, Fly More 3. 3 batteries, cheaper than Mavic 2. Um, I'm also curious with the Mavic Air. I don't need this. Well, if you've watched the one of the last Ken Heron videos, he's been given an Aspire 2, not just an Aspire. So he's basically flying around with a Sony camera, with interchangeable lenses, which is the ultimate in drones. I mean, he's going to put out some just beautiful stuff. But there's a lot of things you can do with a less expensive drone, and a lot of what I do, I get a lot of questions about this stuff because all of us kind of run into the same problems, and those problems are that we don't have a lot of money. We have to kind of pace things out, and sometimes little things can give us big dividends. It pays us back big time. Um, wow, man, there's some droneaholics around here. It must be Saturday, droneaholic Saturday. Guys, I don't even have a single drone in there. Oh yeah, I do. I have my Bebop sitting next to me. I told you guys I sold my Phantom. Yeah, come on, man. The Spark's not that great. I mean, I can only agree so much. I didn't buy the Spark, and the reason why is I can't have a drone that flies for 10 minutes that you spend $400 for. It just lies there. And hopefully he's lying. I just can't do that. That's a mistake. So anybody that I mean, I understand there's some of us that have the Spark, and maybe that's our 12 minutes. Yeah, that's what she said. No, she said 6 minutes. Anyway, but but is it Moendapi? I hope I'm saying that right. Chris Hope got Phantom 4. He's on. So I apologize because all of us have what we got, and we buy it and we get excited about it, and that's what you should be. You should be excited about it. I am not here to bust on anybody and what they have drone wise, because as much as I probably could, guys, I probably could go out and buy a really expensive drone and make payments on it, but that's just not how I roll. I've got 3 kids in college. I've got things that I want to travel with my wife. I've got a lot of things going on. I volunteer, I coach, I teach, and I could go out and buy an expensive drone. I'm just not going to do it. I don't need to. I'm gonna there's enough great stuff out there, and I've got about 6 months, and then I'm going to move into my next drone. So Moen is play on the Moen the Moen copy formation. All right. So you guys, I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, just so you know. So anytime, that's kind of why I ignore the feed sometimes, because I want to read what you guys are saying, and hopefully you guys are talking to each other, because that's what I do during the other live feeds that I watch. Now I don't I love to be entertained. So if you're doing a live feed and you do something, any of you guys out there that want to do live feeds, do something fun. Like, so this is not fun. That's why I'm going to keep it short. I'm not going to stay on all night and bug you guys, and because I only have so much to say tonight. But I just wanted to touch on safety. I want to touch on the West. I want to touch on my haters out there. I've got a couple of them, and this is the problem with haters. Haters usually know nothing. They don't study anything. They just look, and then they're jealous and they hate. They want to diss what you do, even though they have maybe good intentions. And study up before you open your mouth, before you type something. And I basically tell this to my kids at school. Before you say something, think about it. Think truly about what you're going to say. And if you disagree with, I get this freaking line of sight comment all the time. People don't understand. Line of sight also includes your ability to see other things, not just your drone, and basically having a clear path from your drone to you. There's no obstructions. There's no buildings. There's a clear pathway, and you know exactly where that drone is in space. And I kid you not, the best drone flyers in here or anywhere on the internet probably have actual line of sight vision, even especially if they wear glasses, that is probably no farther than maybe 300 meters. And they fly much further all the time. And the reason why they do it is they're in a clear area and they see the clear path between the drone and them. And that's what I do. I fly clearly between me and the drone. The same thing with the mountain video that I did. And I'm going back up to the mountain, by the way, guys. I bought some software, but I don't trust it yet. I bought some Parrot software. I'm sure you guys are familiar. It's Parrot Pro or something like that. It's supposed to be able to help me with that altitude issue, but it's crashed on me already. I was practicing with it in the park. There is a lot of Wi-Fi interference there, so I'll take that. That's why tomorrow I'm going to go out and test it. I'm going to test that other software and see if it will take the long flight, and then I'll bring it to the mountain to make sure I keep, like I said, keep safe. The other problem I had with that software is when it did its return to home, I couldn't turn off the return to home. It just came back, and it didn't allow me to turn it off. I could push the return to home button 100 times, so obviously it lost communication. So we'll see. Remember, if I can't do it right, if it's not going to be safe, I am not flying up to the top of the Red Mountain. Even though it's another, let's see, it's higher than I thought it was going to be. I calculated it would be about 700 feet. It's actually closer to 1,000 feet if I want to clear it. And remember, the height limits in line of sight are dictated by the highest point of the highest landmark that's next to you. So within my 500 meter range, I've got 1,000-foot peak. And that 1,000-foot peak, I have a 400-foot ceiling over. I would never do that. I wouldn't go to the top of the Red Mountain and then add another 400 feet. And that's where the problem comes, is people that are willing to go and do that. The people that do the freaking altitude tests when you're up in the freaking stratosphere, you're above the clouds, and you can't see the line of sight between you. You have no idea what's above the clouds. Guys, when I'm looking at blue sky 2 miles away from me, and there is not a blip or anything out in that area, and I know exactly where it's at. I know the landmarks. I know where exactly, pinpointing where that drone is. I know the altitude. I'm well below the 400-foot altitude limit. So hopefully Dilly Kebab and Baba Zoo, whatever their names are, I just made it up. Who was trolling me, will listen to this and will understand how laws are created and how and why they're created. But until there's a clear no, which there is not, people are going to stay in that gray area, and like I said, is if you're gonna challenge a gray area, you need to basically have a story or a logical reason to be there, how would I explain it? Some scientific background and into what you're doing, into why you're doing it. Okay, so anyway, I just, there are no commercial aircraft that are going to fly in between. Top Gun does not exist around here. There's nobody going to take their Cessna, 170 and fly it, where my freaking drone is. If they do, they're going to hit a freaking rock. They're not going to hit my drone. They're going to run into a freaking cliff. They're going to hit freaking bad air, that kind of stuff. So anyway, there's my rant. There's another one out. There's another good rant. I wished I would have saved his link. I'm going to beat the mountain, Philly. I'm going to beat the freaking mountain, and I'm going to beat it because it's a technical win. That's it. I want to go to the top where my kid was sitting up there one day. I want to take a picture just like he took. I'm going to turn it around and take a picture right down from where I'm sitting, where I can see the freaking top of that mountain. And I'm telling you right now, there was not one time on my mountain flight on last Sunday that I could not see actually that drone. That drone was literally in my sight, my terrible eyes. I am only 500 meters away from the freaking, laterally from it, and 500 and what as far as feet are concerned, I'm 80 meters. It's 140 meters up from me. So I mean, I can see that far, guys. I'm not that freaking blind. And it just really pissed me off when I got that. And of course, that's what they're doing. That's what trolls do. Haters are haters. So, anyways, guys, I'm not like I said. Number one, safety. Number two, property. Number three, my own life. Okay, why would I do something that would endanger myself, my job, my family? And the answer is not. I would not do that. It's a hobby, and that's exactly what people need to know as far as what I do and why I do it. So there you go. That's what I got to say tonight, guys. I've had some fun. If you've had a chance to watch my cooking videos, guys, it is football season. Yes, football, and I start cooking in football season. Been making some barbecue. Okay. This is an old time football right here, guys. That freaking leather right there. It's old school. Freaking Green Bay Packer, Ray Nitschke stuff right here. Okay. Old school football. Old Chicago Bears. Yes. I can't believe I said Green Bay Packers because they're my arch enemies. Because, guys, I'm sorry I got a Bears fan out there. I'm a Vikings fan. Sorry. There's my pops back there. Okay. Old time Viking. And we're Vikings fans. That's where we're from. Okay. So we're purple and gold. So sorry about that. Yeah. Hey, Philly Drones, the slow cooker. I'll get back to that right now. So I have to throw this out there. Hey, Philly. Hey, congratulations for the Super Bowl, guys. Okay. We haven't got one of those yet. You should be still loving that whole Super Bowl thing. So, Philly, are you an Eagles fan? Is that a bad question? No. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. That's all right. He's not a football fan. It's okay, man. Not everybody's freaking. Yeah. Guys. We assume that you're Philly. We're thinking you're just some crazy. Wow, cool, man. Guys, hey, there's only a bunch of idiots that watch sports, and that's me. Okay. So I'm a nerd too. Hey, I'm a nerd that likes sports, but it's kind of cool to be able to admit that. Back when I was at school, I couldn't admit that. I'd never tell anybody I was a nerd, but yep, I'm a nerd that likes sports. I'm a drone nerd now. But Philly, hey, good for your city though. Okay. What's that? Glad I'm not the only one, the only nerd. Yeah, exactly. Mo and Dopey. I hope I say that. Mo and Dopey. We should just call him Phil. Mo and Dopey. Oh, you're now Phil. I'm just gonna call you Phil. I could call you Dopey. I don't know if you'd like that though. You're competitive, Phil. Hey, Philly, how are you competitive? If you have a Super Bowl team, you're living in a Super Bowl city. Oh man, you're competitive in other ways, right? Yeah. You don't have to be competitive in sports, man. You can be competitive. It's kind of like flying to the top of the mountain. That's competitive. People are claiming that, hey, by the way, I got some advice, and he's not on there right now about how I'm going to extend the range of that repeater. So I'm going to get it 3 miles, guys. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it 3 miles into the saddle. It's going to be down there in the freaking saddle. Guys, watch the last video I did. I moved my long range test flight zone because I knew I was going to get out further. I got away from there's a development that I flew over right away that's just being built. There's all the houses are there's one house there right now. But I'm going to fly, I think it's straight to the east instead of the west, or not the east. That'd be south, actually. Sorry, it'd be south. I'm going to fly straight south. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Test the software. And then I've got some parts coming from China. So, guys, in 30 days, I'll have those parts. They're like $5 a piece. So, guys, if you're a cable person, or if you're a kind of a techno guy, I've got some friends out there which they help me, because I'm not a technology genius. Okay, I just like to use technology. I don't know how it works. I just like to make it work. I'm kind of like the pilot. I am a pilot, right? I'm not the guy who makes the plane. Okay, even though I'm trying to make. Hey guys, this winter I'm going to make another drone. I'm gonna finish my Quadcopter. Hopefully I don't crash it. I'm going to use a better flight controller though. So anyways, get back, guys. Quit getting me off task. So I've got a solution to my 2.1 mile flight. I got a solution to that. I've got two things I'm going to do. One is pretty obvious. I'm going to change one of my antennas out, and you probably know where I'm going to go, because there is a better antenna. China, yes. There's other ways to get things than from China, but I'm supporting China for a while. 9-foot antenna with a ton of foil. Hey, you lived back in the day, man. You put a giant freaking foil, like freaking foil flag on it, like we do on the freaking TV. Remember that back in the day in the black and white TV? We'd had the freaking antennas up there and the tin foil on there. You're showing your age. It's okay. You're probably older than me, maybe, but hey, maybe not. Guys, I turned 50 last year, so that's why I'm going crazy. My wife thinks I'm freaking nuts too. So anybody that buys drones, okay, rabbit ears. Yes, rabbit. 52. There we go. Hey, we're in the same club. I think everybody flying drones is either over the hill or just got to the hill. Oh, so funny. Hey, can I share with you real quick how I got into drones? This is a crazy story. Okay, I'll be really quick. Okay, I'm off my freedom kick right now. I kid you not. This is how it worked out. I wanted to build a shed in my backyard. Just wanted to build a shed, and I wanted to make it fancy, because I like to do construction and stuff. I like to build stuff. I'm creative. Okay, and I had a shed plan. I gave it to my wife. I said, "Here, I'm going to build this shed right here, and this is what it's going to look like." She's like, "That's too expensive." So I'm like, "All right, I'm not going to build the shed then." I gave up, and I started to think about drones and things. I bought this little tiny JJRC drone. I think that everybody has the same story, and I flew it around a little bit and had a camera on it. And then I brought it to Florida and took some pictures in Florida. And I'm like, well, crap, that drone is fun. If I spend $100, it would even be more fun. So I didn't spend $100. I spent another $50 and bought it's 19 years of sobriety. Yeah. No, I haven't given up yet. I've been able to keep it on the kilter. So, hey guys, hey, it's the issue of substances in today's society, and anybody that basically beats a substance issue, that's not funny. So I'm not joking about that. I'm just lucky, and I'm a lucky person. I'm lucky I'm not dead from the time period. So if you're 52, Philly, and you grew up in the same time period I went into, and you went through the same, there was no rules, man. You could just, there were, but there was, we lived without seatbelts for quite part of our life. I mean, shit, we're excuse me, I said shit, right? We're lucky to to be alive just there. I mean, we were crawling around the back seat, and our mom was driving down the road, that kind of thing. And we didn't wear seatbelts for a while, and I resisted that, because it was stupid. It's kind of like kids wearing helmets that ride bikes. I still haven't done that, even though most people do. I just don't ride a bike that much. I think if I did ride it a lot, I would probably maybe wear a helmet. I don't know. That's just one of those things I just won't have to test out because I'm just not a huge bike person. But yes, we lived through a different time. There was a lot of inebriated driving. There you go. Just put it that way. And guys, I am just lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to have made it to this point. So anyway, so you guys that are battling with that kind of stuff in your life, you're battling with any kind of addiction. That's America right now. I mean, we're struggling with the opioids and all that other stuff. And when I got my knee done, I refused to get it because opium doesn't. The only thing opium does when I had a back issue, there's only one thing that works. I've got a really whacked out back, guys. I played football for a long time, and morphine. That's the only opioid that's good. That's if you got that when you die, you need morphine, and if you have a really serious injury, morphine. But that's it. And if there's no in between. It's either morphine or you get down to the yeah, exactly, yeah. To deal with our really terrible pain. So anyway, I haven't needed any of that. I think I used there's a lot of NSAID drugs out there now. There's some good stuff that works really good for like teeth and knees and all that stuff. So anyway, guys, I'm not a doctor. What am I doing here? Philly, shut me up. Moin, Dopey. I'm going to call you Dopey, or I call you Phil. Dopey, tell me not. Tell you to shut up. I had a hernia at Camp Pendleton. Yep. Percocet, yeah. That stuff doesn't work. All it does is give you it makes your freaking poop not go out. That's about it. It gives you constipation. So that's what opioids do. Messes your freaking guts up. Nauseousness, yeah, that's the other one. It makes you sick. Hernia, yeah, I had a hernia. Marine, right? Camp Pendleton. I had a hernia and a appendicitis. I had all that great stuff. So, all right, guys, let's get to that point where we're talking about our freaking hurt stuff. You're old when you're talking about your freaking bad knees. And you start out with freedom as your main talk. But getting back to where I started. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go full circle in your show, your discussion. But guys, I'm fortunate to be in a place where I do have freedom, and I want to keep it that way. So you're not going to see me flying by helicopters. You're never going to see me flying, guys. We've had two incidences in the last two fires we've had where drone pilots have flown by aircraft that have been dropping fire retardant. Guys, we don't go there, and that's we don't need to see the fire that bad. I see the smoke, that's enough. I know that there's a problem there, and I know it's a no-go zone when the fire starts. So like I said, haters, go hate somebody else. Go find a real problem. Watch your own videos. A lot of these haters, go to their videos. They're flying over freaking city streets with people walking all over the place. They're flying over a highway. You know what happens if your drone hits a freaking car going 70 miles an hour? So, and that's legal. And I fly in the desert, and I'm getting crap from a bunch of freaking know-nothings. So, hence the law, yeah. So, anyway, like I said, I know it's trolling. It's trolling, and they'll send something to the FAA, and I'll freaking. Hopefully, they'll see it my way, and they'll watch my video and see I'm sane, and then they'll get the letter from the retard that sent it, and excuse my language because I don't even put him in the same category as somebody that needs help with learning. But it's pretty sad when people just don't have, and that's part of life. That's the world we live in right now. So, guys, I appreciate it. I hope you, like I said, defend our rights as droners. Get out, sign that petition, sign sign Drone Worship's petition to keep the hobby free, because guys, if I need to, I'll go get. I don't have my Part 107. I'm not a monetized YouTuber, but when I do, I'll get it, guys. I'll go and pass that test the first time because I'll be motivated to do it. But I don't need to. I like my hobby level droning. Okay, so when that time comes, I'll go get my Part 107, and I'll call into the to the air traffic controllers and tell them, hey, I'm flying my drone here or there or whatever, which I don't need to, because crap, who needs to fly around the airport? Where our airport, guys, is so in the crappiest place to fly that you don't even need to fly there. And just so you know, just to give you a little 411 on our airport, its approach and its landing corridor flies almost right over Zion National Park. So there you go. Now they turn and they try to fly around it, so they don't mess with the with people's people's park experience and that kind of thing. But yeah, so guys, anyway, I'm not even gonna go anymore. And the guy got my trolls got what they wanted. They got a little attention, and I don't even recognize their names. And guys, this is what I suggest you do if you get a troll on your internet site. Push the mute button and erase their freaking trolly butts and just ignore them. There you go. But make sure you go to their site and check them out. If they have a video on there, like a couple of them do, that are basically their expensive drones flying over a highway, take a picture of it and then send that to the FAA. Okay, that'll be great. We'll just trade off sending each other love notes, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. The FAA is going to look at my freaking drone flights in the middle of the desert, Area 51, I call it, and they'll go, oh my gosh, hey, a Philly drone, yep. Let's see. Fiance is screaming at me. She pays for the drones. She's got to go. Yes. Oh, you know what? You're lucky. She's a fiance, right? You're not married yet. Wait till you get married, man. You better keep those drones working. Buy lots of parts. All right. Hey, wives, they gotta take care of us, man. They gotta keep us from So political correct. Yeah. Political correctness is a cancer, yes, and I agree. I think everybody needs to think, and we have to think about the laws and why the laws have been passed. Guys, I am not a legal mind, okay, but I teach I teach the Constitution. I understand why laws were created. I understand why the founders did what they did. They laid out a path for us to basically follow. And all we have to do is to stay within those boundaries. It's so simple. And those boundaries basically allow us to either be very controlling, or they allow us to have full freedom. But you can't have both. There needs to be both. There needs to be freedom, and there needs to be some control. And I totally understand that. And anybody that doesn't understand the Constitution, everybody doesn't understand how law works. And laws need to be fair and just. And laws need to basically take care of what a problem, if the problem exists. And we do have to monitor the drone hobby, and we do have to monitor those folks that are really doing things that are totally dangerous. And it is happening. So. And I'm not going to be the judge of them. It's not my job. I'm not going to go and troll their site and tell them that's not right. And it's not my job. I'm not a policeman for the world. Yes, I am American. Anybody not from America here? Yes. So, hey, guys, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I love my freedom. I love my state of Utah. Okay, no, I am not. I do not have multiple wives, so don't ask me that question. That's the the one you get every once in a while. You're from Utah. How many wives you have? You're a Mormon. Half of Utah is not Mormons, just so you know. So we're probably more than half now. But I love Mormons, by the way. They're great people, and they're part of the reason why Utah is still free, and why Utah still basically protects its people, and why we're not in debt like other states, and why we enjoy basically a great lifestyle. So I am indebted to the pioneers that basically settled and broke this country in, man. So, all right, guys, we are at 55 minutes. We are just under an hour. I have broken my rule, but I think and let's see. I appreciate my guys that stayed on. I know you guys can't stay for hours on end. I know even Saturday, you guys got to go on state night and all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys being on, guys. Anybody that everybody wish drone worship well. Being a young guy and going through what he's going through in America is hard. It costs a lot of money. It costs time. And if you're trying to to venture out and you're trying to build a life at a young age, those forks in the road are critical. And and it's cool. People laid out a fund for them to help them out. And that's, things like that are really cool, make our country great. So thank you. Thanks for listening to me rant today. I'm going to go out tomorrow morning and I'm going to rant some more about my great state of Utah. I'm going to put out a video for a flight. And I don't know if I'll still have, I thought of some ideas, some humorous things. I haven't decided how I'm going to use it, because sometimes humor, you lose the point that you're trying to make. So with humor, so I have not decided yet. I got a Ken Heron idea, and it's funny because Ken's kind of the guru of goofy. And I'm still waiting for Ken to invite me on his show. I'm not cool enough yet. Hopefully, I'll be cool enough someday, because you can only have so many funny people, or so many people with with weird humor in one place. You can't have them in the same spot. The guru of goofy, he is. So I'm not goofy today, but guys, I can be goofy. I really can. This is one of my favorite ones. Watch this. Check this one out. I love the Everyday Dad. So he's the camera guru, but he's always wearing his Ohio State hat. It's football season. Thought I'd make a fake Ohio State hat for him. So anyway, this is for the Everyday Dad and his photographic guru-ness. Love him. He's a great. My daughter's big. My daughter's big into photography now, and she has her own channel, and we got together with the Instapot video, and it was fun. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that some more. We're gonna get on that Instapot video. We're gonna do some more food stuff, and we love to cook, and it's fun to do stuff with your daughter, and she's pretty cool. So, all right, guys. Hey, you guys that stayed on, like I said, I appreciate you, guys. Let's keep drone worship. Let's keep them. Let's wish him well. Let's keep him on the straight and narrow. Let's keep his channel alive while he tries to get this stuff straightened out, because it's going to be a while. He's got a real issue. He's got a physical issue he's dealing with, and we have to keep up thumbing his, or what, thumbing up, or okay. We got to keep commenting positive. We got to keep him. We got to keep him going, because he's got plenty of distance to go. I think he will go places, and of course, I think they're going to be beyond YouTube. YouTube is to me, YouTube is a temporary stop. I think, but 59, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. I'm counting down. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. I've got 10 seconds, and I am saying goodbye. I'm saying thank you, and have a great Saturday night, and peace and love to everybody out there. Drone worship, like I said, love you, and get well soon. Bye.